parade today that celebrates the 19th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprisings. As gay parents, what does that mean to you? What does all of this mean to you?
I'll tell you how Parents of Friends of Lesbians and Gays started with Jeannie Manford in New York the year after Stonewall, marching with a tiny little banner saying, "Parents, support your gay children." Now we have about 400 chapters throughout the country and the world. And I'm very happy to support my son and his lover and all these gay people. They're wonderful people.
I have a gay son, and he's very dear to me, he and his lover, and I have seen so many gay and lesbian people rejected by their families and hurt by the rejection of their families that I come out here because I want to normalize the situation and let people know that if there are 23 million gay and lesbian people, there are 46 million parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters and cousins. And where are they? And too many people are frightened and operating out of fear and stereotypes. And I have learned so much in the past couple of years about gay and lesbian people and the normalcy of it that I just want to do as much as I can, because I know what a hard thing it is for people to come out and be proud. And it's a very moving experience to be here.
All right, well, thanks a lot, both of you.
Well, I'm here because my son came out to me 2 years ago, and it took me a year to get used to the idea. And now he and I are closer than we ever were. So this is my way of supporting him and his community.
And the struggle that this is?
And his struggle. He's having a hard life, and I wish I could do more for him. But the only thing I could do is show my support. That's why I'm here.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye now.
2, 4, 6, 8. Gays and lesbians educate. 2, 4, 6, 8. How do you know your teacher's straight? 6, 8. Gays and lesbians educate. 2.
That it's the 19th anniversary of our revolution, and a revolution that apparently is going to take a little bit of time, but one that is very meaningful to all of us. That we have close to 300,000 people here today says that more people are getting the message, and more people are willing to put their time and energy out to make certain that all of us have equal rights, and that all of us within all of our communities are covered by the Constitution and by our local laws. I feel very, very wonderful about a day like today when we share with each other the kind of support that is necessary to get us where we have to go, which is forward.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good luck on cooking. Since this is celebrating the 19th anniversary of the uprising at Stonewall, what does that mean to you?
To me, that means that in 19 years, we've seen that gay and lesbian people have really been willing and able to fight for our liberation and have joined with many other movements, both in the U.S. for civil rights and also around the world for national liberation and self-determination. I, as a gay man, work in solidarity and support national liberation movements, because I see that as part of a whole human liberation process. And I think that with the advent of AIDS in this age, that a lot of gay and lesbian people have come to realize that time is very critical and that we don't have that much time.
This is commemorating the 19th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising. What that means to you. So let me just make sure he's got the camera ready and just see what your feeling is about what that means to you and how you feel about today.
Well, I think that the Stonewall Uprising, of course, was really an important event because it was the first time that I know of in recent history that gay people have fought back against, senseless violence and harassment. And I think that to commemorate it each year is important because it really brings out our unity, and we all gather here and everybody, I think, is glad to see how many people there are.
We hear there are over 275,000 today from people in the parade committee. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Really good. I tend to think that there are at least 300,000 every year, or approximately. And I went to the March on Washington where there were 500,000. That felt even better. But I love the San Francisco parade.
All right. Well, thanks an awful lot. Bye now.
To me, it means that I have an obligation to be as involved as I can in gay rights events, gay activities. I volunteer every chance I get because it means freedom for me. If I don't get out here and participate, I could lose my rights, I could lose my freedoms. And I admit that we don't have as many as we should, but what we have, I want to keep. So I want to be just as involved as I can. And this parade is almost, my roommate said, this is like Christmas to gay folks, To gay and lesbians, this is our Christmas. To me, it's great. It's wonderful.
Do you think there's any way to translate all this energy and all this power that everybody has here today into hard political gains?
I think the unity that we get from this kind of parade certainly develops into unity over the years. It does for us. In fact, what we're doing right now with BLAG is we're trying to unify so that we can become stronger, so that we can help out in ways that will be necessary for our community. For instance, with AIDS, working with AIDS in the minority communities, in the Black community, we want to be more visible and more helpful to our communities. And this is certainly helping us unify.
Well, thanks an awful lot. Thank you. Since this parade does commemorate the 19th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising in New York, what does that mean to you?
Well, to me, that occurred during the period of the Black Power movement in this country, and it can't be seen separate from that, because the struggle that Black and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Native Americans made during that period not only gave inspiration but courage to those of us who also felt a difference with the United States government. And yet, that is forgotten today. And we have a real struggle with the parade committee this year because it denied Black Power Center, Uhuru House, any access to the community by denying them a food booth. And also the White Solidarity Committee, yet we've been here for 10 years, since 1978, winning tremendous support from the gay community for the struggle of Black people in this country.
Same-sex advocate! Where are your Everybody after
Since this parade celebrates the 19th anniversary of the uprising at Stonewall and the struggle since then, what does that mean to you?
Well, as most gay groups, we have a lot of ground to break in almost any organization we belong to. The Republican Party is not as inclusive as we would like it to be. And so for us, it's an opportunity to push for greater inclusiveness within the Republican Party and to moderate its position on a lot of the issues that gay people want. A lot of people will come by and say, how can you be Republicans? Well, I am a Republican, and neither a straight person nor a gay person is going to tell me that I can't be. And I think that it's important for us to come out wherever we are, whether we're Republicans or Democrats, to work within the system, to make sure that our voices are heard. And there's no conflict in my mind of being a Republican and gay, because those things are so personal. I mean, if how I vote and how I want to see the political system move are very, very important. And so for me to express myself within the Republican Party is as important as it would be for a gay person within the Democratic Party. It's important that we be heard and that our voices represent the voices of gay people everywhere.
This afternoon, Douglas Conrad and Jennifer Roberts, who are the co-chairs of the San Francisco Lesbian Gay Freedom Day Committee, announced that with over 275,000 marchers, viewers, and as well as participants in Civic Center, this is unquestionably the largest Lesbian Gay Freedom Day in the history of San Francisco.
This parade is basically celebrating the 19th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising in New York. What does that mean to you?
I think that it means that we're developing a history. I also think that it's just equally as significant that San Francisco is celebrating 10 years of gay pride in terms of the fact that 10 years ago Harvey Milk was the supervisor. 10 years ago the gay band came marching down Market Street for the very first time. 10 years ago the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus was formed. The rainbow flag was developed for the first time that we all saw on the streets. So, you know, one of the things that happens here is that we're developing a history, and I think that's very significant.
This is the 19th anniversary of the uprising at Stonewall, and that's what this parade and celebration is all about. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that we're progressing, but we have still a long way to go to get our equal rights, which we're fighting for right now, including the military, like Perry Watkins and Marion Ben-Shalom on the East Coast and so on. So we're working with them.
Will it take another 19 years, do you think?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't think it will.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Great. Since this is, you know, so many people are so active here today, do you think there's a way that we can translate all of this energy into political activity that brings us more rights so that more of us will feel comfortable to come out?
Well, I think that's what's happening. I think that's what all of these booths are about. Is that the translation of this energy, this excitement about coming out and reclaiming our rights.
Essentially, that means the period where we went public, where we were no longer afraid to be seen or to make our stand or stand up for our rights. It's a celebration. It's a celebration of that event for what this community is and what it's going to become.